Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another 10 Car Tuesday episode, and we've got 10 blue card Hot Wheels to look at. I don't think any of these are extremely valuable. We're going to go ahead and open them up. Pretty cool stuff though. We're going to start with this 1965 Mustang convertible, which was number 26. I think this blue one came out in 1989. I'm not 100% certain on that. The casting itself, I believe, was first used in 1984, and it's actually a casting that's technically still in use today. It was actually put out in this mainline 2020 already. So here it is in blue. And we got blue, white wall tires. I remember playing with this casting quite a bit when I was a little kid. I had one, or I might have even had a couple. But there you go. It's got an opening hood feature. This one's pretty stiff. There it is, motor inside there. Pretty nice looking Mustang. Of course, it's got metal body, metal base. Basic tempo action. Of course, no detail on the front or back, but it's got like the metal bits that make up somewhat of the taillights and the front grille. This is just kind of a nice classic casting. The tampo's a little crooked here going across the bottom. Paint's a little rough too. Kind of interesting. It's almost like it's got paint rash, but it's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And then we got this one here too. This is number 162, collector number 162. I believe this one came out in 1991. We'll go ahead and pop it open. This one's hood moves up and down a lot easier. Of course, we've got the same construction on this deal as the last one here. Only real difference is that it's red. It's even got the same tan interior. Clear windows. This one's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. White wall tires, metal base. The metal looks a lot different though on this. You see how that's kind of like got almost like a bronzish kind of look to it compared to this one. It's kind of interesting. Both of these are Malaysia bases. See how that different that looks? That's kind of weird. I don't know why that would be the way it is, but kind of interesting indeed. Anyway, pretty cool car. Classic Mustang. I had a few of these, I think, when I was a little kid. I remember playing with them. And now I got a couple of mint examples for the collection. So that's pretty cool. All right, and next one we're going to do is the 56 Flash Cider. So this thing's pretty neat. It did debut in the 1992 mainline. This actually is the debut graphic. I think there was a couple of different wheel variations of it. As you can see, it actually does say new model on here. We'll go ahead and open it up. It's got the Ultra Hot Wheels with thin axles, so it's got some suspension to it. Man, this thing, wow, this thing would book down a track. It is extremely smooth rolling. This one does have a metal body. It has a chrome plastic base. Some little weird discoloration right there in the chrome. Copyright date is 1991. Of course, debuted in 1992. I don't believe this truck has an interior, which would be why the windows are completely blacked out. This casting was actually last seen in 2015 in the Heritage Real Riders, which makes me think, I wonder if that one, or that version of it, because that version of it does have a metal base. It has a metal base, it has Real Riders, and I'm sure it's a retool of it. I'm thinking too they tooled an interior for it in that. I wish I had it like handy to check out. I know I've got it somewhere in my collection. So I think they kind of retooled this casting. So that is kind of interesting in and of itself. And it's not a bad looking truck casting. It looks a little bit, I don't know, boxy-ish Maybe not 100% proportionately correct. I do dig the tampo scheme on it, though. I think it looks pretty awesome. It's total, a sign of the times of that when it was period correct for when it came out. And I actually really like the Ultra Hot Wheels, mainly because they remind me of, being a kid and playing with these cars. So pretty cool. The next one, very similar tampo scheme. We've got the 32 Ford Delivery. This particular version, I believe, came out in 1991. The casting itself debuted in the 1989 mainline. And this was actually last seen in 2014. Oh my goodness, and I just realized this is an error. I probably should not have opened this up. And it's just so strange that you don't see this. This doesn't come. Do you see what the problem is here? It's got a big wheel and axle in the front and a small wheel in the back. So I'm pretty sure what happened is the axles are flip-flopped. It's supposed to have the big one in the back and the small one in the front. I don't know if that makes this car incredibly valuable or not. Now that I opened it up and it wasn't a mint card, it's probably not that valuable, but wow. I didn't even realize it. I didn't really look it over that closely, and look at that. If anybody knows anything, if this was like a known variation or a known issue with this casting, that it came out with the wrong wheel in the front, or maybe this is actually how it's supposed to be, I highly doubt it, but I'm pretty sure it's either supposed to have both the same size wheels, or the large wheel would be in the rear of the car, especially since the length of this axle seems really long. And I guess they both kind of seem pretty long. So anyway, that is interesting. So this was last seen in 2014 in the Road Trippin' series. And now I got this weird version of it. Yeah, it's too bad I opened that. I do have someone that collects errors that probably would have been really into this, but I don't know. Probably only carded once. We'll see. All right. Anyway, there was that. So every once in a while you do make a little bit of a mistake opening a car that you maybe shouldn't have. Now I'm going to be looking close at these cars. This one is the 3-window 34. The funny thing actually about this, now I think about it, this was on like my sale table at my local meets for like a long time before I decided to just keep it, and nobody else noticed it either. So weird. All right. Anyway, the 3-window 34, or yeah, 3-window 34. This one, I believe, debuted in 1993. Or the casting had debuted in 1993. This livery was 1993. I think this also originally used to be a high raker casting. The debut of it, I think, is 1980, so copyright date 1979. This one has a metal base, metal body. And, I mean, it looks like this should have had a larger wheel on the back, too. But it's got both small wheels. This was last seen in the 2013 mainline. Graphics on it is somewhat ugly. We got purple and white and orange. And a pretty neat little example of this car. I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was a high raker. What I mean by high raker, it used to have like the back axle could pop out, and then it would put some rake to the casting, and I think it did that. One of the original ones. I wonder if I think, was this, yeah, this was also released as a Real Rider, the original Real Riders as well, and yes, it definitely was a high raker, and I've got the Real Rider versions. I've got a couple of them. All right, so anyway, cool casting. Pretty awesome. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so moving on from there, the next one we got is kind of a weird one. This is the Rigger Motor, number 247, collector number. Debuted in 1994. This is the debut livery for the casting here. See, it says new model right here in the blue card. Blue cards are kind of cool to me because they're definitely, you know, that's when I was at the age of really looking through the store and getting Hot Wheels, was when the blue cards were out in stores. Copyright date 1994. Metal body, metal base. We got a coffin. This is where the driver would sit. It's kind of like a drag racer with a coffin on the back. A bat on the front. Some skulls up here for like the lights by the radiator. And big motor. Looks like a V8. So pretty cool little casting, kind of an interesting little fantasy casting model, perfect for Halloween series. And the last we've seen is in 2019 in the Halloween series. I don't know if that one has a metal base or if they moved it to a plastic base. These pipes are actually part of the base too, so kind of a lot of metal in this little casting, and kind of a cool one with black wall tires. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Not a bad looking fantasy car. Some of the fantasy cars were kind of cool back in the day. This next one is really cool. This is the tea bucket. And now that I'm looking at this, geez, should I open this one? The motor's loose in it. The whole thing is loose. I think it just snaps in, so I think we're just going to go ahead and open it anyway. So here it is. This is the tea bucket. The tea bucket debuted in 1989. This is 1989 car right here. It was released on like the more black wall card as well, and I think orange, and then this card it was in yellow, so it got released in two different colors. Okay, so the motor it does just pop in and out, so it's not like a big deal. We should be able to just pop it right back in to where it belongs. Maybe. There we go. So it kind of snaps in place there. It is plastic. It's like a two-part plastic with the gold in front, the silver right there. The base of this car is metal. Got some flamage on the side here, yellow and red. This is just a cool looking car too. Black wall. So yeah, that's in there really good now. It still moves back and forth, but it's in there really good. I just think that's a pretty bad looking ride right there. So the last this was seen was in the 2013 Cool Classics. So I don't know if they retooled it or what for that series. I don't have that one. But this is a really cool little mint Hot Wheel now in my collection. I like some of the vintage stuff, and like I said, some of the blue card era, black wall era is really the cool stuff to me over red lines. The original red lines are kind of cool, but just this era of Hot Wheels kind of is more meaningful to me because it's the era that I grew up in. Alright, so this next one is the Pontiac Banshee, which I believe was a Pontiac concept car. This debuted in the 1989 main line. It came out in both the black, some weird hair in there. Eesh. Toss that right in the garbage. This debuted in the 1989 mainline. It was released in a blue card as well as the like transitional black wall card. And then it's got Ultra Hot Wheels. So I think this was like the predecessor to the newer like Firebird design. As you can see, it kind of looks like the Firebird from the 90s. It's kind of got that look to it. So this was the Pontiac Banshee. This was last seen in the 2011 Hot Ones series. Feels like it's got a little suspension just because it has the Ultra Hot Wheels on really thin axles. These things roll like crazy. This was probably a pretty heavy little car and probably would scream down a track. Anyways, an odd looking one. I had this in my collection, but it wasn't mint, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take one, a mint one. This car is not incredibly rare at all. I know it's pretty easy to find and it's pretty cheap, so. But pretty cool nonetheless. It's kind of a weird oddball Pontiac. Yeah, it's kind of cool looking. Alright, next up we got from the Gleam team, this blue card 190 57 T-Bird. The Gleam team. These were weird. They have plastic bodies and metal bases, and the bodies are like literally this texture on here. I don't know, it's just kind of a crazy fun example of what they did during that time, some of the Gleam team cars. The only other Gleam team car I think I have in my collection that has like the plastic body with the texture and stuff like this is a Porsche 959. Just a weird concept for a series to put out. This particular one came out in 1992. The casting's an oldie. It was used all the way from 78 on, and it was last seen in 2015 in multi-packs. So I believe there is a metal body, metal base, plastic body, metal base, and a metal body, plastic base variation of this casting. There also is, I think, an older tooling where it had the hole right here for like the window in that panel. But this is just a weird, interesting one. Kind of neat, though. And then lastly, we've got the Blazer 4x4, number 222. This one, I believe, came out in 1993. And there it is. So this casting's been retooled since it came out. Wow, that door is really stuck in there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it. I know these doors... Oh, there we go. I think it chipped the paint a little bit opening that door. Yeah. It was stuck right there. Because the door doesn't quite shut straight. There we go. Oh, not quite. So, opening door issues. I'm not even going to open that one. So, this thing, casting originally came out in 1984. Came out with these opening doors, metal on metal. And then they did eventually retool it without the opening doors. And I think with a plastic base as well. This was last seen in the 2018 100 Years of Chevy series. And it's got some crazy metal flake paint job on it. Pretty wild looking yellow interior, which through the blue tinted windshield looks like it's almost green inside of there, and just overall kind of an interesting car. And that's the last one for this 10 Car Tuesday. So this was a long episode of 10 Car Tuesday. We looked at some blue card Hot Wheels. I'm not going to take pictures and scroll them by just because the episode's already real long. And let me know which one was your favorite of the group. I actually am kind of leaning towards this one being my favorite. This T-Bucket. I don't know, I just think it's kind of fun. It's a cool casting. This one was really cool too. It's just odd that it's got that big wheel in the front, small wheel in the back. Kind of neat. The Mustangs are nice. Of course, we got some weird ones in there. Weird one. That's kind of a cool casting. Flash sighter. Man, this thing, like, is like frictionless when it rolls. It's pretty crazy, actually. So pretty nifty. All right, so let me know what you guys thought about these cars. Which one was your favorite in the comments down below? Again, please check out the playlist for 10 Car Tuesday. Also, there is still a little bit of time left to take advantage of mass car display cases. 20% off promo code, which is Champion20. You got till December 31st of 2019 to take advantage of that 20% off. If you're watching this video, stumble across it after that, You can still use the promo code Champion for 10% off of your order for MassCard display cases. But anyway, yeah, so check it out. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.